Hey everyone, and welcome to Reviews with Brian, and today on the channel I'm going to be talking about the brand new crime drama prequel called Orphan First Kill. This film is currently streaming on Paramount Plus, is in select theaters, and is also to be able to stream on VOD as well. Before I get to my thoughts on this brand new film, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, give the video a like, comment below your thoughts on this film, and also turn the notification bell so you never miss any video that I post and I upload weekly. And now without further ado, let's get scared and let's talk about this new horror film. After orchestrating a brilliant escape from an Estonian psychiatric facility, Esther travels to America by impersonating the missing daughter of a wealthy family. The film stars Isabel Fuhrman, Julia Stiles, Rossif Sutherland, Hiro Kanagawa, Matthew Finlan, and was directed by William Brent Bell. I honestly didn't know that this film was actually coming out this year. I remember when this film was titled Esther and they were talking about a prequel or a sequel, so I didn't know what this film was actually going to be about. Then I saw some reviews and saw that it was going to be dropping this week, and I was like, oh wow, it's a real film, it actually is coming out. So going into this film, William Brent Bell, I don't really care for most of the movies he's made. The Boy 2 was a really awful film. The Boy, I kind of liked it when it first came out, but I watched it recently. I don't really like that film anymore. It doesn't really hold up for me. Separation was one of the worst films back in 2021. And The Devil Inside, I hate the ending of that film, but for some reason it's kind of a guilty pleasure and I love that handheld kind of film. But a lot of people hate that film as well, so I don't really have a really good history with this director. The biggest controversy about this film going into it is it seems like a lot of people really don't like the de-aging effects and don't really care for the fact that we're going back in time. And Isabel Fuhrman, she is a lot older now. When she was in the role of Orphan, she was a lot younger. She was 12 years old. So she is, I believe, around 25 years old now. So going into this, a lot of people didn't really like the fact that we're going back in time. But I do think with the de-aging effect, I kind of overlooked it a little bit. Now, there were some parts there it's really hard to overlook with the body doubles. And there are certain parts where like, yeah, this isn't really kind of believable in certain aspects. But I was okay with the de-aging effect here, and I kind of overlooked it in places. Isabel Fuhrman in this is really good. She constantly takes her character to new heights by manipulating people and finding ways to really persuade people to do different things, to really fall for her games and play mind games with people. Now, a lot of the stuff that she does in this, we really have already seen in the first Orphan film, so at parts I can feel where people feel that this is a rinse and repeat kind of formula, but dang, I really love seeing her on screen just manipulate others and really find ways to really persuade these different people to get her to do what she wants. And when she wants to get what she wants, she gets it. What I found really interesting about this film is in the beginning of the film starts out in the actual institute where she is actually called Lena in this part before she becomes Esther. And when she's in this institute, it's very interesting that there really isn't much staff. It seems like it's really easy for Lena to just do what she wants to do. I mean, there's a lot of crazy kind of people in this institute, so you would figure that they would have staff and have some people to really be watching these crazy people, but she just does it with ease, and it's just really easy for her to escape. And there is some bloody moments in these parts in the beginning of the film, and I really liked how she escapes and how she gets out to be Esther and how she is going to manipulate her way into letting these people know when she goes to this family's house that she is Esther, and it's very interesting how she does this. I also love the look of the gray sky and the snow on the ground. In the original film, there's also snow on the ground pretty much the whole film, so it does have a resemblance to Esther's character because she's a very cold and calculating type of character. So having that snow on the ground really correlates to her character, and you can really feel the just darkness and the grayness of the skies, and just it reminded me of up north during the wintertime when there's all these really cold, kind of shivery kind of moments. And once they pull up to the house and Esther is with them, I'm like, bang, here we go. This movie's going to take off. I also like that they go back to the original music in this film. When Esther is in her room, she has a record player and they are playing the song Glory of Love by Jimmy Durante. If you remember in the first film, if you have watched the first film, when she is drawing or painting, she sings this song and hums it while she's actually drawing and painting. So I'm glad that they went back to the original film and included that music in this film. And then we get into the twist and I was like, wow, I really love this twist. I really didn't expect the twist coming at all. I actually didn't even watch a trailer for this film going into this film, so I didn't even know Julia Stiles was actually in this film, but I think she does a really good job as this character. I didn't expect this twist to be coming at all, and I know it's really hard to do a prequel film because a lot of the stuff we kind of already know about Esther, and we know that she's already really been through, because if you watch the first Orphan film, a lot of this stuff is already filled in before she really does what she does in the first film. So it is really hard to make a prequel and really kind of make it original, but when they throw this twist in, that really makes the film, spin a 180. The only problem that I have with the twist is I think that it was a little bit slightly earlier than it should have been. I think we should have had a little bit more building before we got to that twist, but for the most part, I really did like that they did implement this twist and just had a little bit of shock value for me. Now, on to the negatives about this film. I didn't really have a ton of negatives with this film, but the few that I had is, first off, there is a part where there is some fire involved in this movie, and the CGI in that is really bad. I noticed that right off the bat that the CGI fire looked really horrible and kind of cheap. Towards the beginning of the film, some of the camera work in this, it's not very good. Camera lens, it looks like it's not cleaned off or something. It just looks really bad. It looks really kind of white-like, and it looks really foggy, and it looks kind of cheap the way that they filmed the beginning of the film. Now, it's not throughout the entire film, but it's just certain portions of the film, certain points in the film with the lighting. It's really off. It looks really bright, especially during the daytime where there's a lot of light coming in, and it shines a lot into the characters' faces, and it doesn't look very good on screen. But other than that, I didn't really have any other negatives for this film. It's a prequel film where a lot of times there is a lot of things that we already really know about Esther's character, and a lot of stuff that she's doing in this film she's done in the first Orphan film. But I think what really saves this film from being kind of boring is the fact that we have this twist and we do get to see a lot of different kills and such. Now, the kills, they're not really that, I would say, unique in the film, but I think that they have that bloody kind of moment with Esther and different things that she does in this film. I think that she holds it together. Now, there are parts, like I said, where the body doubles, they're not really the best. I'm not going to say this is a perfect film by any means, but I didn't hate this film. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the twist, and I enjoyed the ride, and I really liked the first Orphan film, so I had a good time with this film. I'm going to give a score of this film a 3.5 out of 5. I think it's a pretty solid film. It was definitely worth a stream. I actually stayed home and watched this on Paramount Plus and subscribed for $5, so it wasn't that bad for a $5 purchase. So I would suggest, if you want to check it out on Paramount Plus for $5. That's not too bad. But thank you guys for watching my review, and I'll see you guys on my next one.